Don't tell me what to do.
Brown 45! Brown 45! Hot, 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 hot!
Of commercial-free football start now.
I hear there's a fire in the studio and we are all needing to leave. No, welcome back to the Hit Stick. Sorry, Robert. I'll shout out to Robert. I told Robert if we ever had a dropout, I'd message him. I just didn't know Cole was dropping out to like 12 minutes prior because the Vikings lost to the Bears, and he didn't want to show his face after they were going to sweep the Lions, is what I've heard.
I just want one moment of joy in my life.
Yep. Well, we get to talk about how terrible the Vikings are all week, and he's not here to defend himself and talk us into this. Listen, the pumpkin turned into the carrots turned back into the pumpkin. 4 interceptions. Addison had a better chance of wearing a Bears uniform to catch these balls than what he did. Yeah, what a joke. What an absolute joke. But we got Nazario.
2 points from that game. 2 points.
You did pick the Bears, which hats off. I picked the Browns and did not work out. But I've never been more excited to lose because I wanted the Vikings to lose because that's what I picked my curse on, and it worked. The 49ers won. Oh yeah, on Thursday night. Beat the piss out of the Seahawks.
For the first half, it was a good beating. I don't know what the fuck happened in the third quarter. Like everybody ran out of gas, and they gave them like a slight bit of like hope there.
No, they didn't.
Purdy threw a pick six, and it didn't look as critical as it was.
Geno Smith couldn't throw the ball more than 2 yards down the field, and they still kept.
That was a bad game.
We
honestly,
gotta
could have been abuse.
We're gonna play him again in like 10 days, so good shit.
Listen, it doesn't really matter about 10 days. It matters about this week, which we will talk about before everything, because this week's gonna be the main. Mark Menchaca, we don't talk college a lot on this show, but college, you hired a guy with a better winning record at an abysmal school in Kentucky, or plan to. Your outrage was so angry that you said, "The fuck are you getting us, Mark Stoops? We don't want that motherfucker." And then you get a guy that had a worse winning record, but at Duke, another school that's not the SEC, and you get Mike Delco, which I think was your defensive coordinator for a while. I believe. So that is a plus. He is Aggie wife. I've never seen a bunch of people put their arms around a head coach and do this weird sway thing that they did, and they all chanted something. I've never been that more confused than at a Catholic church during a funeral, that they made me stand up, sit down, take 6 shots, and don't know what they said. So, are you excited about Delco, or does it really matter because your school is the most delusional school because you'll never probably win a national title?
Listen, I don't think my school is any more delusional than Texas. I mean, we're the same. The fucking same. But yeah, doesn't matter. You know what? We can live with Mike Elko. I can survive with that. You know what? It'd probably be a good defense. I just hope we can develop a fucking quarterback. That'd be nice. We're gonna fucking pay Stoops like as much as we're paying Jimbo. Like, what the fuck are we doing? For what? Elevating Kentucky? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, he still went 10-2 in the SEC, which is not better. Horns down. But you're probably getting the Duke boy from. He's probably going there. Like, if we're being real, but who knows? Scully, team confuses the shit out of me. You needed to lose that game, but instead you wanted to win that game. I think every win that you get is bad because I don't believe anybody in Chicago wants Eberflus to be the head coach. So every win makes that more likely.
if there was a way to demote a head coach to defensive coordinator without there being the sheer awkwardness of being demoted from head coach to defensive coordinator, I would smack that button in a heartbeat. I would much rather have him as our defensive coordinator and then have literally anybody else as our head coach, because you take those two blown losses against Detroit and Denver away, and this is a 500 ball club currently in 7th place in the NFC, which is kind of wild to think about. But here we are. Offense played pretty fucking terribly because they blitzed 60% of the time. The defense looks great, though. When our defense is fully healthy, top 3 in rush defense, secondary looks good. I'm ready for these final 5 games, honestly.
That's insanity. Anyways, but
we are a top 3 instances. We are a top 3 rush defense.
Listen, Scott. Jim Tomsula survived like 3 different coaching changes in the 49ers. And then somebody decided the guy could do a head coach.
This was going to circle right back to the 49ers.
Yes.
Look,
and then they decided to give him 1 year as a head coach.
That was the guy
got fired.
His death and 49ers talk.
That was because Jed York was a fucking controlling madman and didn't know how to own a team until Shanahan came in.
Okay.
So, sure.
We're going to talk about some of the topics. Again, I bring topics. We discuss them. This one's going to start as a mini rant, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. I don't understand what the fuck the Carolina Panthers expected Frank Reich to actually do with that team. Everybody's looking at Houston and saw one quarterback difference. It's working in Houston. It's not working here. They are not the same team, you fucking moron. They traded Deshaun Watson to Cleveland. I don't know if they remember that, but everybody else does. They got draft picks like offensive line, Tank Dell, a running back, multiple people. Last time I checked, I don't believe Frank Reich traded DJ Moore for a king's ransom from 9-2 or 9-1 to get Bryce Young. And then the owner of the company club says, I believe it was a group decision that we wanted Stroud because we thought we could be at 2. You're only saying that now because CJ Stroud is good. That's the only reason you're saying it. If you believed in Stroud, you traded up and you should have grabbed Stroud. You chose Young because you thought Young would be better. It is absolutely insane. One, Carolina should be on every coach's absolute no. I will not take the job. They threw Matt Rule out before he even got a chance to even breathe and build an organization around. They threw Frank Reich out. He was 11 games. Your team is not a playoff team. You gave him nothing. Your defense is trash. Your O-line is garbage. You put 4 years to Miles Sanders that the Eagles didn't want. Couldn't that have been a warning sign? Your star receiver is Adam Thielen? Stroud at least has Nico Collins. He has Nico Collins, Tank Dell, at least young, fast guys. Linebackers can outrun Adam Thielen. What are we doing? When I saw that news, I was like, this is delusional. He is this owner I would never work for that man. There's no way. The Panthers are an absolute no-win scenario. And Bryce Young, he could be a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but in that system, he will die. He will literally fade away. So, was this playoffs or bust? Did people predict the Carolina Panthers to win playoff games this year? Because I'm confused. Because you know what? This season would have been a high success. You know why? You know who should have been fired? That GM that's decided to also trade their first-round pick the following year to the Chicago Bears for DJ Moore. That's insanity. You should be fired. Frank Reich should be fired. This is crazy. I was laughing hysterical at it.
Well,
everybody.
when you look at the trade that was done, because the Bears, the Texans, and the Panthers all had a deal worked out at the combine. The Panthers would go from 9-2, essentially, and then Houston would go to 1. Chicago would go back from 1-2, get picks. Back from 2-9, get a player and a pick. DJ Moore probably wouldn't have been a part of that deal if they had gone from 2-9. It was only after David Tepper said, fuck it, go for number 1 if you're so confident that Bryce Young, if you're so confident that you have our guy, and you have no idea if Houston's going to go for Young or Stroud, go and get the guy. And then everyone was agreeing on Stroud until a week out of the draft, and all of a sudden Tepper's like, no, you're going to pick Stroud. This is exactly what happened in Miami in 2020 when the owner Stephen Ross, who had a massive man crush on Tua since his championship game against Georgia, massive man crush on Tua, and there were people in that building who were whispering, hey, I think Herbert is the pick. I think Herbert is the better athlete. I'm not saying the situation is directly comparable, but this is what happens when your owner decides he knows more about football than the guys he pays to know more about football. It is part of an owner epidemic in the sport that needs to be eradicated. Otherwise, more franchises will follow in those footsteps.
So what you're saying is that he couldn't tell that Bryce Young was 4 feet tall.
It's not about that. It's just about the fact that
that he played in Alabama. Like, they saw him play in Alabama and saw that that's the guy. They saw Ohio State where he didn't go, like, wasn't a part of that, or like he couldn't beat Michigan. Like, there was problems. Like, it's just weird. Like, in the Tua and Tua, who'd you say, Tua and Herbert? Yeah, but now looking back, those both are, I'd say, decent system. Like, I would be happy with either at this point.
No,
you can't be right now. I don't look happy with
Herbert is way better than Tua. What are you talking about?
That's not true. Way better.
That's look. Regardless.
No. Hold on. This is a football talk show. Are you telling me we can't have a debate of Herbert Tua?
I'm saying let's not get
Herbert has more raw talent than Tua.
How can you say that? Because Herbert, have you watched Herbert play football? He's a check down. Like, all he does is throw 3 yards.
Oh, Jesus.
He doesn't have Waddle. He doesn't have Tyreek. Like, if he had the players, you would see the difference.
If you give them good players, they can be great players. Is that what you're saying? Is that the question?
I'm saying he has more talent than Tua.
Then Brock Purdy's a piece of shit. Brock Purdy is a fucking garbage quarterback.
What I'm saying is that Tua has been luckier with the selection of the players he has to make him look better. But if he had to carry that team by himself, if you put both those
Keenan
players,
Allen, Mike Williams, just bums.
If you put both players on the Panthers, Herbert wins more games.
If you put anyone on the Panthers, they don't win any games.
They don't win anything. I think you could take Patrick Mahomes as is right now and put him on the Panthers, and I think they have similar success.
I think they have better receivers than the fucking Chiefs.
It is.
No.
Well, so not to mention the fact they chose Jonathan Mingo, the big body,
Travis Kelce. That's enough.
The Panthers went out and took Jonathan Mingo, the big body Ole Miss guy, who had AJ Brown comps over Tank Dell. Scott Fitterer should not have a job. He should have been fired on Monday instead of Frank Reich.
But here's my thing, guys. It doesn't make any sense to me. This doesn't make any sense. Firing a coach mid-season, I don't give a damn. It doesn't change anything. Like, yeah, Anthony Pierce does a great job in LA. You find your coach for the next future. But Frank Reich, what's the difference if you take Frank Reich out of there now or not? You're still paying the man. Yeah. It's not going to – guess what? Every free agent, I bet just, you know what sounds good? Carolina. No one wants to – like, it's not like a seeked out thing. Like, it's just a wild – like, they literally thought that they I can just see the owner. CJ Stroud's throwing the ball pretty well. Why the fuck isn't Bryce Young throwing the ball pretty well? It's not the same. It's you're talking apples and oranges, buddy. They may both be rookies.
What do you think it's like? Could you fire a coach at any point mid-season and make it a good decision? Like,
yes, I think the Urban Meyer
was
Urban Meyer. I think a coach that's completely delusional, like who is the 49ers guy that pulled his pants down or whatever. Like, what was that guy? Mike Singletary? Was that him that lost his shit?
Do not disrespect.
Was it Mike Singletary?
In this house, we
pull his
respect
pants down.
I think he showed his ass in the state to Vernon Davis or something. I think there's a rumor out there. I don't know if it's confirmed.
That video?
But he lost his shit in the locker room.
You know what he did have? Like when when fucking Harbaugh got to the 49ers practice squad, he saw a pile of dirt on one side of the field. Like a giant pile.
Coach Mike Singletary dropped pants to make a point to the 49ers. Literally, I knew it was a post.
You know who
he did it in 2008. I called it.
Let me finish.
He just dropped the trowel.
Jim Harbaugh got to the fucking practice field, and he saw like a hill, like a little hill of dirt. Like if you had dumped like 3 trucks there, and he was like, "What the fuck is that? Are we doing renovations or what?" And they're like, "No, Coach Singletary put that there. He said it's a strength hill." What is a strength hill? Like when players were being lazy or whatever, he made them run up that hill to get strength of character.
Coach Harbaugh, a locker room's a lot like my mom in a bikini. I like to see it in one piece. Mike Singletary wanted to get his point across at halftime. His team was down 20-3, and he illustrated how bad they were playing. So he dropped his pants to his boxers to show how embarrassing they were getting beat. I didn't make that. I knew that wasn't like made up.
I remember now.
So if you're like a crazy coach and you're like doing something stupid to your team, like I think if you're just not, he's just not the guy, and you believe like your defensive coordinator, your offensive coordinator could actually be the guy, then I see maybe dropping him at that thing. But Frank Reich doesn't deserve to lose his job at that point. Like he doesn't do anything.
You mean something stupid like telling your team to not disrespect the Pats when you're coaching the Raiders?
Right. Josh McDaniel's a perfect one. McDaniel's a perfect example. He lost that locker room way too fast.
What I find hilarious is that Frank Reich put together a coaching staff that included Thomas Brown, who is a hot coaching candidate on almost every other team that needed an offensive coordinator, and Ejiro Evero. They plucked him from the Broncos, and he's now coaching the Panthers defense. You literally have 2 of the hottest up-and-coming coordinators in football on that roster, like on that coaching staff. So now the question becomes, what are you going to do with those 2 guys? Are you going to waste the fact that you have two future prime head coaching candidates on your coaching staff? Are you going to Are you going to 2013 Washington these guys?
No, right now I can announce it. I can announce this early. Joe Judge is going to be the new head coach of the Carolina Panthers. It's going to be It's going to be Nagy from the. They're going to look. He's going to coach of the year.
You know who would be a great head coach? Ron Rivera.
Do the trade right now. No, watch Bill Belichick. They trade like their future
looking for a new home.
Cam Newton will be back on the Panthers tomorrow.
That's a good question. Will Bill Belichick coach the Patriots next season?
No. Yes. I said this at the start of the year. No, he's not. He's not. He's done after the season.
Yes, he will coach. They will. So 2 things will happen. One, they will let him coach as long as they wants to coach, or they will tell him to resign. You listen. You as an avid Red Sox fan, Terry Francona could have lost his effing mind and did terrible, like 50 wins, 100. You brought us championships. You can stay as long as you like. Okay.
They will mutually agree to part ways. They will mutually.
They'll mutually agree to part ways. That's the only way it happens. He does not.
They should pull a Batman Forever with him. Have you
Please don't
heard that
mention that
story?
movie.
Have you heard
that?
that story where
Please
that
don't
Tim
do
Burton
that.
was supposed to direct that movie, and they were taking him to meetings, but every time they went to a meeting, they just kept saying how none of his ideas worked. Like, yeah, we have to make it lighter. Yeah, we have to change this. Yeah, we have to change that. Until the point he was like, I don't think you really want me to direct this movie, guys.
The
And they
only
were like,
guarantee that will
well,
happen, the only thing that will guarantee happen is he will no longer be the general manager. That will be a fact. They will hire a general manager to run that team.
no more wide receivers.
Next topic. Oh, man, try as they might, but you can't beat the green machine and the zebras on the middle of the game. I'm telling you, as this is a good question for boys. I heard this on a podcast. This is like a really bad year for the NFL because of how bad the scoring's down, how everything is just like 10s and 13s, and the scores are down. It's a thing. I'm still having fun watching it. I won't say they're terrible.
So many
but like
injuries, though.
so many injuries, so many main quarterbacks gone. By the way, I just don't understand. They see Travis Kelce flinch twice at the end of the game on a false start, but they don't see that man get all up in his business, drop his hand basically down Josh Allen's shirt and rip him down where his shirt is like hanging, and they're like, horse collar. Nope, intentional grabbing. I'm sorry, excuse me, what? And like a team, it sucks because the Eagles could have dropped that game and nothing changed. The Bills needed that game to continue.
Yeah.
Like, they can only drop so many. I've never laughed so hard at the end of that overtime coin flip where Fox does not turn off their thing and it's like, it don't fucking matter. Brandon Graham, that is the ballsiest move ever. When he's like, we'll take the lead, it don't fucking matter. And walk and
Well, when they're getting calls like that, I would say that too.
true. But then you see Josh Allen like go down the field and like Josh Allen's going to Josh Allen. They're going to kick a field goal, and then there goes Jalen Hurts. I'm not a defensive coordinator. I do not have the skill. This is not in me. But at least 7 to 10 times a game, he drops back in shotgun, and as soon as he does the drop back, he runs forward. 6 to 7 times he gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He doesn't gain that many yards because they see it. The offensive line goes, hey. They switch to it. Everybody in the stadium knows exactly the play they just switched to, and he's able to run 20 yards to the end zone. How do you let Jalen Hurts, the MVP currently of the league, just saying it right now, it's a team award. If they continue winning, he will win the MVP. How do you let him trance to the end zone? Like, Sean McDermott is a defensive head coach. Wasn't he a defensive coordinator?
Mm-hmm. In Carolina. He would be a great head coach of the Carolina Panthers.
How do you let Jalen Hurts? So it's got a few things. The Eagles are going to just always find a way to win. Like, Jalen Hurts is not – I think Jalen Hurts is like one of those quarterbacks that you just – nothing phases him. You could be down 21. You could be tied.
Not even winning.
That 59-yard field goal, he was just like, okay, put the helmet on. No reaction, no happiness, no other. He's like, let's go. He was pissed off at himself for the entire point of the game. Jason Kelce had to be fucking pissed because it was a 49-yard field goal. It turned out to be a 59 because his fat ass flinched twice. Like, he's like.
By the way, that kick was fucking ridiculous. It was twice, two delay of games to push them back 10 yards. It was fucking raining. And he still fucking made it.
And it was like a line drive, like Curve the Bullet from the movie Wanted. It made no sense. There was a story that came out that he called Jake Elliott, the head coach of the Eagles. I can't think of his name. Everybody's favorite head coach. But Sirianni. He called Jake Elliott up to prove, like, hey, even the greatest people miss things from time to time. Like Tiger Woods went 10 for 10 or something with putts. gave him a putter, and he hit all 10 in a row. Stefanski called up there because he knew he was going to miss a couple and be like, we're still going to like him at the end of the day. It's like an illustration. No, Jake Elliott hit every fucking punt. It didn't work the illustration he wanted to work because Jake Elliott is just like this natural, just good at everything apparently on the Eagles. And yeah, that kick was disgusting. I've never seen. I was like, well, go ahead, Jason. I can't wait to hear you all week long. So it cost my team to win.
You guys replaced Justin Tucker as Justin Tucker.
That kick, I was like, and then to just drive the field and just go and win the same way they always win is just, again, we'll talk about it. The Eagles have the hardest matchup this week.
The only thing that could have gone better if it was a fucking quarterback sneak. But,
yeah,
it was close.
Just shove it right down their throat. So truthfully, this is week 13. Can the Eagles truly be stopped? I know the question will come this week. This will be the greatest glance of where we see it. But do you see the Eagles still finding a way this week? Or I'll pose a question to Nazario. I know you'd rather, but if I was a team, I kind of would rather drop this game here to win it in the NFC, because I believe the winner of this could lose it in the NFC Championship game. It's kind of like how the pendulum turns. Like I don't think either team wins. Whoever wins this week doesn't also win in the NFC Championship game. I just don't see it happening.
Nah, that's just fucking nonsense, man.
No, it's not.
You kick people when they're down, and then you take a shit on their face. You think because we beat the Seahawks, we haven't won in fucking Seattle for 5 years. The first time they won back in Seattle was last season. You think they wouldn't want to fucking do it again this year? Yes, they do. You always go for the throat.
But no, here's my viewpoint. If you've played that sports or you've done anything, once you beat a team once and you go into them, we beat them before. We know the strip, we can beat them. The team that loses is everything to not drop that game again. They're going to be coming in more. That's just the difference. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's unlikely that they lose, that they couldn't win. But I'm saying if I had this matchup's going to be the NFC Championship game. We all know it's going to be the NFC Championship game. So if I'm one, I fucking rather give them my best effort. If I lose, good, whatever. I'll lose this one because I hope to win that's what I'm saying. I just don't think they get lucky or whoever it is twice. That's my viewpoint. I'm just saying, can the Eagles be stopped?
You're going with that Giants-Patriots final game of the season situation and then fucking took their Super Bowl for the perfect season kind of thing?
Yep.
Yeah, if you put it that way, I would say, of course, let's lose this week. But that is just not going to happen.
I need the Eagles to lose.
The 49ers are out for blood because everybody who likes that team, like I do, or is part of that team, they believe, we believe to the bottom of our hearts that a healthy Purdy wins the fucking NFC Championship game last year. So we're going to prove it. And that is why this Sunday, we're going to kick their ass.
They were going to shit on your face regardless who was quarterback.
We got 17 points with no quarterback.
You could have had Steve Young out there. The Eagles were winning that game.
Fuck that. No.
Well, I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly.
I think
there's teams of destiny.
And they have fucking lost the Super Bowl. Beautiful destiny.
By a terrible hole.
Difference, I think, between this year and last year. I think last year, the Eagles' defense was their primary strength. That defense was consistently turning the ball over with their opponents. This year, the defense does not look as stout. The secondary looks very shoddy, and against big-time quarterbacks, big-time quarterbacks and receivers who can catch, they can struggle.
Thank you.
Sorry, I had to amend that a little bit. So I think you might see a high-scoring game this week, but also at the end of the day, I think Nick Sirianni is the more confident head coach. I think Shanahan gets way too wrapped up in his own mind in situations like this. Now, granted, in the grand scheme of things, I think all this game will decide is maybe who has home field advantage. But also but also that's considering the fact that both teams continue to play the same way they've been playing throughout the rest of the season. But the Eagles' offense is a well-oiled machine. I mean, that shit
I
just
feel
keeps
even if
running.
the 49ers beat the Eagles on Sunday, which I think is going to happen, they're not losing again. And it won't matter if the Niners win or lose any other of the other games. The Eagles are still going to be number one.
Hold on, because I had the Niners beating the Eagles in the championship game at the start of the season. I have since sort of turned that around because I think the Eagles' offense is way better than it was last year. I think Hurts is statistically not playing as well, but in big time moments he is more clutch. He knows.
So what you're saying is we should concuss the fuck out of that guy.
Okay, Sean Payton, calm
down. So here's the thing: Lane Johnson is going to be out most likely of this game. He had a groin injury last week, so if he doesn't play again, I think that's going to be a massive problem for the Eagles because they have Bosa and Young on both sides. Like, that's not going to be a fun night at all for the offensive. Even that great offensive line, it's going to be a rough night. I don't know who technically would win this game. I wish they would have punted this game and made it Sunday night. I don't understand why this wouldn't be Sunday Night Football. It just makes no sense. But Taylor Swift might show up at Green Bay, so we got to make sure that's Sunday night.
That's the game.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason because Taylor Swift is now off, and they think she's going to show up there.
That's going to be a shitty game too.
That's going to be a shitty game, absolutely. But no, I don't know. I think these are the best two teams, but like it's interesting. I looked up how the number one seed would be decided if there's tied, if they both are the same record. It goes for points scored. Whoever has scored the most points for. So interesting how that falls. I still think the Eagles would be the one seed because I think the Eagles will probably drop to the Cowboys again. In Jerry's world, they played super close the last time. You can't tell me that the Cowboys were just completely out of that game. I think it's a divisional game runs close.
I agree, but if they win that game,
100%.
It's over.
Yes. I've already said if the Eagles win this, if the Eagles beat the 49ers this week and I think beat the Cowboys, I think they have one more hard game. I don't know who it is, though. Or they might not even have a hard game. But if they beat another game, they're 100% the Super Bowl champions. I have no doubt about it. Like, it's over. It is over and done with. This team is not – there's teams of destiny, and this team just seems to not give in. Mark, you haven't said shit. Welcome to the show. Say something.
Listen, I don't know. First off, I was also looking at this up as like, you brought up the Eagles guy saying we're acting like, he remembers Matt Hasselbeck, right? I was like, yeah, we're gonna take the ball and we're gonna win. Like, it just been, and like, he's on freaking ESPN. They make fun of him like every day for that. No, like, I can't imagine being a player in the NFL and playing against the Eagles, especially in the defense. It's got to be just like the most demoralizing experience like ever. Because I watch them in close games, and this feels like what they do every time in close games, or whenever they're up by like one score and it's the fourth quarter. All right, we're gonna hand the ball to DeAndre Swift. He gets 2 yards. All right, 2nd and 8. Hand the ball again, DeAndre Swift. Oh, look at that, 2 more yards. 3rd and 6. All right, we're gonna throw a short slant to AJ Brown. Oh, look at that, 5 yards. 4th and 1. Okay, we're gonna do a like quarterback sneak. Oh, 1st down again, and the process just starts over. Like it's just the dumbest thing ever. They feels like they have time of possession every time they play, and of course, they beat the fucking Bills because the Bills,
and the Bills had the ball for like 40 minutes. Like they out possession them and they still died. It was just.
I think there's also that. Like we've seen 2 straight weeks where the Eagles have kind of played bad and they still won. Like what? I mean,
whenever teams try to play the Eagles game against them, they lose. Because whenever the teams try to like hold the ball on offense, control time of possession.
The week before.
I was just looking this shit up.
Who did the Eagles play last? Not the Bills, but who did they play the week after?
The Chiefs. Played the Chiefs.
Yeah,
the Chiefs, yeah. They played like shit twice, and like just can't. They suck the life out of you as a defense because you pray like, oh, 4th and 1. It don't fucking matter. No, it's 1st and 1. It's 1st and 10. Time to redo this entire shit all over again. And we're going to rinse, cycle, repeat. It's like the wide receivers catching at the 1 yard line just so you get shoved across. It's crazy.
Yeah, so you could
The
argue
last
honestly,
3 games of the Eagles season is the Giants twice and the Cardinals.
Yeah, so that's 3
Yeah, this is their stretch. They
winning.
played the Cowboys. They didn't play great against the Cowboys. They played bad against the Chiefs. They played bad basically against the Bills. And guess what? They're 3-0 in those games. It doesn't change. Like,
they're winning 13 games minimum. But like, if you look at their schedule, you look at every single game they've played. You could argue that in every single one of those games, either the offense or the defense has not shown up. Like, you could argue Eagles-Patriots started this season. Offense didn't play all that great. Second game against the Vikings, defense almost blew the game. Both games against the Commanders, defense didn't play well. The Chiefs game, the fucking
offense.
The Jets game, the Rams game, offense doesn't really show up that much until towards the end.
Losses to the Jets.
Yeah,
fucking crazy.
It's great teams always find a way to win on their worst day.
Oh,
and they've been the only team in the NFL that's been able to do that this year.
Speaking of JETS, that fucking crazy bastard. That fucking crazy. Do you see that clip today? That's disgusting. Zach Wilson hasn't thrown a ball like that all season fucking long, and he throws it on a ruptured Achilles 72 days ago or something. What are we doing? What is this? This is fucking witchcraft.
I've seen UFO clips with less speculation at this point.
I've seen Bigfoot clips with less. I believe the one. I was like, he literally just joked, like switched over and like went. And that thing had a perfect spiral arc, everything. And I said, Zach Wilson couldn't do that with he grew 7 feet and still had an arm power. It was disgusting to see. Like that man. But the thing is, they have to win this week, or he doesn't make any sense to come back and play. If they can't win this week, he doesn't make any sense. They have to go 10-7 to make the playoffs. Maybe not, because did you all see DTR get knocked the fuck out? The Broncos are the dirtiest team in the NFL, and it isn't
look who their head coach is. Look who
I know.
Sean Payton, so yeah.
Dude, the dude hit him so hard, there's a flag or whatever, and he goes, "What? What? You just killed the guy."
Well, so because it reminds me of 2017 when Rodgers he breaks his collarbone midseason basically. The Packers then go on like a 5-game slide, and when Rodgers comes back, they're 7-6, I believe, and they have 3 games left. He plays the last 3 games. They lose the last 3 games and are knocked out of the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers back from his prematurely back from his collarbone injury, and not for nothing, like 9 months later, a similar injury happens to him in the opening game, but whatever. But it doesn't. Honestly, this kind of just feels like a moment for him to be like, yeah, I defeated modern medicine and came back in 79 days from an Achilles tear. I don't think he's going to play this week, next week, or the week after. I honestly think he won't play until like the season finale. Well, when they're already up.
I think they do.
Why would you do it at that point?
They have to activate him in 21 days. He has to be on the active roster in 21 days.
He will be on the active roster. He just won't actively play.
Oh no! They'll put him in. They'll put him in. That owner will put him in.
Why does he have to be activated?
Because he's off the IR. Like he either has to go off the injury. He's off the injured reserve, so either he has to go back to it or play.
Oh, okay. So he's off IR.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked.
How can you be off IR with an ankle?
I wouldn't be shocked if he goes back on the IR, because I honestly don't think with them, seriously, with them being in the position that they are in right now, I don't know if he actually plays the season.
I mean, even if they win out, like they have to hope for Pittsburgh or Cleveland to start losing, and like they're. I mean, I just did it off of this playoff prediction. Like they're still the 8th seed, even if they win every game. Like it just, and it'd be although it would be the most Jets thing if he is back in like by week 15, and then they play that home game, their last home game against the Commanders, and then he re-injures his Achilles on their terrible field. It would just be like it'd be the funniest thing ever if that does happen.
Yeah, it's
this time without the flag.
If you did that prediction, who you said 8 seed, right? Who's ahead of them?
Still the Steelers, still the Browns.
You think the Browns stay?
I think they could.
With that defense, that defense
like,
could carry Caleb Haney at this point.
That defense put up the Broncos put up 29 on them. What are we talking about?
Yeah, because they gave up basically. Also, it was in Denver, so.
So how many more home games do the Browns have? That's the actual question.
Well, how many do they have at mile high altitude? 0.
Let's just see this. Yeah, because they still have the Texans ahead of them. I think they're probably still making it. Both Browns, Steelers still ahead of them.
This is a crucial game for the Houston this weekend. This is a crucial game for
the Browns.
And honestly, the Colts could probably still outpace them too. I mean, the Colts aren't they aren't dead yet anyway too. Like
the Browns have to go to LA, then they host Jacksonville, then they host the Bears, then they go to Houston, host the Jets, and then they go to Cincinnati to end the season. So that's a tough slate for them, but realistically, you're looking at. I mean, I can see them going 4-2 in that slate, probably.
Yeah,
and that's
okay.
Right away. That's 11 wins.
Okay, so time to. He's not here, but he sent his power rankings still. Go through the power rankings. What is the? Okay, everybody's prediction of the Vikings.
10.
Where are the Vikings?
10th.
There's no way they're outside the top 10. Like they're like 10, 9, somewhere in there.
Okay, me and Nazario know, so we can't make that game. So show it.
Another question where the Broncos are at. No, 8 fucking team. What do the Broncos have to do, Ko? What the fuck do they have to do? Oh wow,
the Chargers. What? Wow. Look at the Chargers.
Where are they at?
28th.
No, that's true. That team sucks.
Below the Cardinals.
Well, here's my thing. 28 with the talent that they have, that team sucks. That team sucks.
The Giants at 24 feels far-fetched.
I just don't. You can't tell me that the Broncos right now are not like out of these teams like 11.
I need the Broncos to be above both the Buccaneers, the Falcons, the Bills, and the Saints, and the Rams.
Honestly, I wouldn't put them above the Bills, but everybody else, yeah.
I don't know. I think if you put the Bills versus the Broncos right now, I think the Broncos could beat them.
Well, good thing that they actually played earlier this season and they won.
Yeah, did they beat them? Yeah, they beat them in week 10.
Did they really? Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah. That started like it didn't start.
I forgot.
I think it was in the middle of the winter.
If only there was a way.
Right off the fly.
Well, then that makes absolutely no sense, guys. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't. You can't. I'm sorry. I understand. The 49ers are the 49ers. The Eagles have not drawn 3 games in a row all season. You can't tell me that it's feasible. It doesn't make any sense.
After winning that game on Sunday, how do you not put them at number 1? That's the most ridiculous thing. They beat the Chiefs, and then they pull this shit with the Bills. Dude, they are number 1. I can say that. So why cannot him?
I think the Lions should be at number 4. I think they should be below Baltimore.
Yeah, so I want this on the record. No one will ever say that, but I want this on the record. I am not a Lions fan. I want that on the record. I never said the Lions were going to be a great team. I said based on scheduling that they have a shot at the number 1 seed. They did.
Nah.
They don't anymore. I'm paying Nazario with $100 in Monopoly money. He's going to enjoy his life because I never said U.S. dollars. But overall, like, it just doesn't make any sense I agree. The Lions, their defense is absolute. They made Jordan Love look like he was Brett Favre. It was crazy. I watched that game, and Jared Goff couldn't hold the ball.
Remember what I said about the Lions against teams that score on
Shut up. You also said they were going to lose to the Saints. They were going to lose to other teams, and you were wrong. Like, stop it.
Still going to comfortably get the number 2 seed.
No, you said that about the Vikings. That's the Vikings. Never mind. The wrong conversation. You said the Vikings.
Well, look, that was before Dobbs went sicko mode. I thought that they would beat the Bears.
No, this was still with Kirk Cousins.
No, his Achilles went like a broken guitar string before that.
I know, but he started the win streak before it.
Well, I was still right, so.
You were still wrong.
I was still right.
How would you guys? So there's a team on here. I can't say their name. Obviously, can't say their name. But one, motherfucker, that team is literally a cancer. I hate that team. But tell me that they should not.
Yeah.
Tell me they should not give up some first-round draft picks and go to Chicago because Justin Fields ain't going to be there past this year. And tell me Justin Fields in that offense wouldn't be absolutely insane.
Here's the thing.
It doesn't matter. They're not going to do it.
Justin Fields on the Falcons, fucking gas. Justin Fields in an Arthur Smith offense.
Did you just say the word? Did you just stop saying the word? Don't say that word again.
Oh, shit.
We don't say that way.
Doesn't matter.
I have a question.
They literally had the opportunity this offseason to make this big buy for Lamar Jackson.
Gosh! Can you imagine Lamar on that team?
It would have been perfect.
With this defense,
they're like, no, we're better off with Desmond Ridder. They're stupid.
I have a question. What the hell happened with the Dolphins' love? He put them in first place for 3 weeks in a row, and now they're 7th.
They beat the Jets, and what are we doing? Well, they haven't dropped the game.
They are in a 2-game winning streak, and I don't know what.
Well, no, because Jacksonville won, and now you can prove that Jacksonville's better because they beat the Texans the second time around. Barely.
Only, yeah.
What do you guys today? 4th and 12. Wouldn't you just go for it?
Honestly, I'm surprised that they went.
I know. Listen, I didn't know all of his stats as a kicker. You know who should have all those stats? The fucking team. If he says his max is 50, I ain't putting him out there for 59. What are we doing? Hey guys, what's his jump? He can jump 6 feet. We need to jump 10. No, it doesn't work.
Not to mention, they've converted longer than that with Stroud in those situations before.
That's my thing. Send him out, see what he can, see if he can scramble for it. But you're going to trust the guy that has a max of 50. Or I think it was a max of 47, his field range, and he missed a 50-yard earlier in the game, and they're going to trust him at 59? That was just the most Texans thing I've ever seen in my life. Just fucking send him out and see what happens, man. We can do that. Oh, crazy. Poe didn't send me a eliminator. I guess we can ask him after the fact because he's not here. But we are on the picks. Everybody's favorite time of year. I did terrible. I'm 2 and 3 because I picked the Browns and I picked the Vikings, and that was worth 3 total points. Lost. But I'm 25 and 18. 5-0, 21 to 10. You just went over 500. I'm proud of you. 25 to 10, 18, 28 to 10 for Scully and friends. And then Mark had probably his worst week of the season, but he still only has 8 fucking losses, which is disgusting.
2.5 games out. 2.5.
Maybe we should just make him. You guys think we should just make him go first every time? Let's see if we can switch because he gets left with all these good things at the beginning. He's like, yeah, I'll take this and this. Yeah, let's not give him the gravy. So Nazario will still get first pick. Scully gets to make his own picks this week because his co-partner is not here. Even though they have the same taste in NFL picks, is what Coho has said numerous times. Okay, so Nazario, what is your first pick?
My first pick is the thing that needs to be said.
Okay.
The Niners are beating the fucking Eagles, man. We will take it back from the NFC Championship game with a healthy fucking Purdy and a mostly healthy offensive team. And I mean, at some point, the fucking Eagles got to be tired, right? They are going through the fucking gauntlet right now. So, yeah, I'll take it. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a fucking good game, and it's gonna be 24-27.
Honestly, my biggest pet peeve is when people
Really
say
weird
the
that you said
Eagles score
24-27 when you're picking the favorite team. So I think you just
can't
picked the
fucking
Eagles to win
stand it
27-24.
when people say the losing score first. It goes winning
That's what I
and
said.
losing.
I just said that. I was like, I think he just predicted that the Eagles win by that mad logic. Wild. Okay, my pick. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because that makes a lot of sense for me. Yeah, I'm gonna take the. Oh wait, am I missing a big one? Yep, I'm missing a big one. Yeah, I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna take the Dolphins over the Commanders. If they lose, I'm glad this curse works because I don't really like the Dolphins at all. But if they win, this should be. I'd say it's like 38-27. But I don't think their defense is very good. But I think it will be a fun score.
38-27.
38-27.
Washington score points.
Scully, who you got?
I really don't like how I've been sort of riding with this team a lot for picks recently. But
by the way, if you pick the one team, you need to say Baltimore. You don't get to say.
Yeah, no. We're not there quite yet. But no Kenneth Walker. Geno probably still can't throw. And on the bench is a guy who, even blindfolded, could probably make a better throw than he could with both eyes. Cowboys over the Seahawks.
Yeah, that was going to be my first
like
pick.
They're starting to spiral a bit. We're going to go 31-16.
I agree. I was going to. That was literally my pick. But I saw the Dolphins, so.
I'm never starting Zach Charbonnet in fantasy again. Never again. I learned my lesson. Never again.
I lost Gus Edwards to Eckler 5-7 and lost by like 0.25. It was the most painful I've ever seen. And that's a big money league. It sucks so bad. Okay. Mark, well, go ahead. Everybody has a catchphrase on the show. Say the catchphrase.
I don't know. I said I had the 101 last week, and I picked the Lions to beat the Packers, and we saw how that worked out.
What a terrible Thanksgiving.
My Thanksgiving was ruined immediately.
Yep.
But anyway.
At least you didn't pick them as your eliminator.
Look, I've just given up on the eliminator, honestly, because I lose.
Survived. I survived.
I don't think I've ever won an eliminator pick. I don't think I've ever won.
You should just pick stupid teams like I do. The Titans paid
Probably.
off.
The Bears, bitch.
I'm never picking the Bears on this show. Nothing good can come from that.
Anyway,
that's true. That's very true.
Are they bye this week?
They are, thank God.
They are.
No.
I can actually spend my Sunday.
They're sleeping. They're hiding.
Anyway, yeah. In Jake Browning, I do not trust. So, I'm taking the Jaguars over the Bengals on Monday
Washington
night.
Husky legend.
Yeah, that guy cannot play football.
That'd be the most depressing fucking thing. I don't know why I had this game ranked ahead. This feels.
Can you say the score, please? I know you don't like these scores, but I need you to say score.
I don't know. It's probably gonna be dumb, 20-12. Just to go with that.
I'm going to go back after the season and see how big of a margin of difference was these scores.
I mean, it's not any worse than when Nazario picked 7-5. Against
a good old 12-10. Good old 12-10.
Hey, I was very close on that Bear score. I think I said like 15-8, and it was 12-10.
I honestly thought you said 7-5 for one of those.
You said 16-8.
Close.
That was very close.
Well,
when the Vikings rushed 3 all to get they rushed more than 3, and then during that final drive they only rushed 3. It was a wild DC move, crazy.
Funny enough, I'm also going to pick the Patriots to lose this week. Take the good old Chargers. They should win that one.
Wait, you're picking the Chargers?
Yeah, why not? Listen,
He's just hoping Staley gets fired. He's just hoping Staley gets fired if they lose.
Look, the funniest thing ever.
It's going to happen anyway.
The funniest thing ever would be the Patriots winning that game, and that takes them out of the top 3 of the draft, and they don't get a quarterback.
It would happen. They're heading to Foxborough. That's rough.
It's like 24-10. They're still going to lose. It doesn't matter.
Did you guys see that Judon, the defensive, after seeing Aaron Rodgers' video, goes, "No, guys, I can't play." like he has Achilles, and they're like, "Why don't you come play?" No, I can't play.
We shit talk them, but they lost their 2 best defensive players the first weeks of the season.
Were you talking about Gonzalez? Yeah, Gonzalez was going to be like the next Sauce Gardner this year.
Now Gonzalez is getting slandered on social media for no fucking reason. People saying Forbes is better. No, Forbes sucks. Manuel Forbes sucks.
Crazy. No Juan Soto trade yet, so that's good. Okay. My life's still happy. All right. Scully, who you got?
Oh, well, I can't believe this is still here. Their first game without the bad man, Matt Canada. They throw for 400 yards of offense. We'll see how much they do against.
Still no touchdowns. Still no touchdowns.
Unbelievable.
You say Pittsburgh?
Yes, the Steelers over the Cardinals. This is going to be a stupid score. It's going to be 23-15.
Yeah, he threw for that many and still had no touchdown. And did you see Deion Johnson just stand there during the fumble?
No, it's one of my
friends.
Was
so bad.
Is a Steelers fan, and he hypes up Deontay Johnson all the time. I can't wait until I see him next.
That's Jersey Jerry right there. Okay, so it's my pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the reason why this team would win, but if they lose, that'll be kind of funny. I'm going to go with the Chiefs over the Packers.
Oh boy! You did it now.
I could have just cursed them. I'm going to say it's 24-14.
The Swifties will be after you.
Nazario. No, I think I already cursed the Dolphins. If I'm going to curse anybody, I think it'll be the Dolphins losing to the Commanders. Who you got?
I believe the buck has to stop some point, and I believe the buck stops here for the Broncos. I think CJ Stroud is gonna have a field day with that team, and they're gonna win. Close match, 21-19.
Did you know the Broncos are the only team to not allow over 20 points all season long?
21-19.
No. Plus, after the streak started, they haven't allowed over 20.
Plus, Pat Surtain is the best corner in football right now. So,
yeah, Tank Dell might be
19.
21-19. Okay. So my last pick, the
wait.
board will be.
Don't I have to go again?
Oh, do you get to go again? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Sorry.
God damn it.
Sorry.
Let me see what bullshit's
terrible.
Here. There's so many.
I'm not going to take a game. So
there are so few games left. That game sucks. Sucks. Ugh. Did anybody take the Lions and the Saints?
Nope.
That game kind of scares me, to be honest.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, the Lions are going to win that one.
That's what I said last week.
Who's worse,
Yeah,
the
but-
Steelers or the Packers? Or the Saints or the Packers?
Packers.
Okay, I don't I like
I'll
the
think.
Saints chances.
I think Goff will think he has his group back, but not really because he's gonna throw 2 touchdowns, but then he's gonna throw 2 picks. But they're still gonna win. So let's call it 28-24.
I think Cam Jordan might actually kill Jared Goff if he keeps playing the way he's playing. He's
Might
gonna
be
take
quite
his
opposite.
foot off and walk around fucking Bourbon Street with the
All
helmet.
right. My last pick, is not on the board because it was already picked. I'm taking Eagles ×2 because 1, if they lose, positive for me because the Eagles lost a game and I need them to drop games. If not, hey, I get 2 points for beating Nazario. I'm going to say it's going to be a close one. I'm going to say it's 28-24 for the Eagles.
Hey, when the
I
Niners lose, they only score 17 points.
That's, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. So maybe I'm already off, but you know what? I'll take it. So I'm going to take the Eagles because, hey, they can't seem to lose. So maybe they lose with me. Scully, final pick of the night.
Ooh. All right.
What?
No.
Did you want to go? You want to go, Mark, ahead of him? I'll let you go. Fuck Scully. He doesn't show up.
Avada Kedavra. Voldemort beats the Jets. It's gonna be something pretty fucking tragic. It's gonna be like
12-8.
no. I'm thinking 20-9.
Are they going to do that?
Jesse
Tyler
Bates might
Algier
have
getting
another
22 carries?
Pitts, London, or Bijan, somebody's leg could go.
Ugh.
Please don't do this to me.
It wouldn't be
Just
worse than what they'd had to
saying.
deal with the last 2 years. Like, it just.
If that happens, then my dream of going from 0-14 to playoffs will just be done.
Yeah, you have done that. You have done the miraculous turnaround.
I almost lost to Brooklyn last week. That would have been awful.
A lot of injuries that happened for everybody's teams, but you're there. You turned it around.
I actually lost a fantasy game 2 weeks ago by 0.67 in another league.
I just lost by 0.25.
Oh, man, that's
I
ridiculous.
wanted to rip out my testicles and smash them with a hammer. Mark, if this is still here, might as well take it. What do you got?
I mean, what I had marked for number 3 is still here, but I'm sitting here thinking why I put that at number 3.
What
Like,
was number 3?
It was the Tampa Bay Panthers game. I'm like,
Yeah,
why does
that
that
game
fucking
kinda
number
scares me.
3? Like,
First game with an interim head coach.
There's another team that involves a
And isn't
South,
Baker back?
but an AFC version South that may be better.
Baker's back, so let him cook.
Is he back?
Yeah, I think they can move him off the
I would rather chew fiberglass than pick Colts Titans. Honestly, any game with the Titans, I want no part of.
You don't like mayonnaise
They
in
are
your
the
coffee?
Voldemort of the AFC.
okay. Thought about doing this thing. I'll just do this. I think this is simpler because I think Scully's going to go 3-0 this week.
Hey, remember like 3 years ago when I traded Zeke for Derrick Henry? And everybody was like, wow, man, that was a stupid decision. And I was like, yeah, I feel stupid. Like, I didn't think it mattered, man. Like, they both fucking sucked.
Who's laughing now? Zeke's
No one.
non-existent. Yeah, everybody's sad and crying. Do you think
I'm
Scully's going to go 3-0?
It's possible.
Is that what you?
Thanks, buddy.
You know what?
Fuck
You know, I have no confidence against Stafford against his defense, so let's just take the Browns. It's gonna be ugly as shit. Say 13-6.
Okay. And the eliminator, I get to take out Thomas Scully with the Lions. I'm still in it. So Nazario, Tommy DeVito carried you to the end.
Hell yeah.
You can't lose this
Wait,
fucking
one
eliminator.
second. Boom! Fuck you, Scully.
Nazario, who's your pick? You can't pick the Giants. You can't pick the G-Men because
What do you mean I can't pick the Giants? Oh,
they're on a bye anyway. They're also you already picked them last week.
Okay, so
Tommy DeVito, you had faith. So did his
go.
dad. The most Italian thing ever in the stadium to see.
Next year, I want Hard Knocks just to be on the DeVito family. Like, let's just forego like this Hard
Isn't that
Knocks
just
volume
the
2 to
Rams?
go over the DeVito family.
It's just
I'm
the
gonna
Rams.
go with Justin Herbert and pick the Chargers.
Just to let everybody know, I'm announcing this. Nazara may not be here because you know how he is on weekends, but hit stick during the playoffs. We will pick a game. We're going to do a live watch along. I've decided if it's just me sitting here by myself, I'll sit here and watch it. But we're going to do a live watch along to one of the games. So
if we can make it Saturday night, I'm pretty sure I can do that one. I don't know what's going to be but
It's like
we'll plan it.
But better.
Yeah, Manning cast, but with Panamanian. Will be fun. He'll probably say something.
Panamanian cast.
It will probably get us canceled, but he'll probably say something. So fun, live. Okay. Mark, you can't pick the Titans.
Oh, shoot. You know what? Because you told me I can't pick the Titans, that must mean they're going to lose this week. So I'm going to take the Colts.
My pick. Actually, I'm going to let Scully pick for Coho. Because I'm not Coho. They couldn't make it. I'm gonna let Scully pick. But my pick, I'm going to pick the Cowboys. So I'm gonna complete my NFC. Yeah, of course it's boring. I don't win these things. I want to at least last to the end of the year. And Coho can't pick the Ravens. So Scully, who you got? He just picks the biggest dog shit. He picks the Commanders or the Seahawks and just says, "Fuck you."
He can pick the Bucks. I mean, they play the Panthers.
The Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
That's punishment for not taking your punishments.
So he picks the Packers over and watch the Packers win. God.
I swear to God, if they do, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
So that's it for the show. I had fun, enjoyed ourselves. We had a lot of fun. We had some laughs, told some times. Yeah, but as we get closer, Javi, welcome.
Random.
Welcome. What I want to do, what I hope to do, is like do the NFC like championship game or something like that, like one where it's really close, like or a wild card. Like I think that would be fun to like talk that one through. But yeah. But other than that, maybe Coho will be here next time. If not, we'll have Barr or Robert Kastner or somebody that actually watches Hobby.
We honestly should have Barr here because of the aftermath of Eagles Niners.
So we just tell Coho he's off the show next week and just get Barr automatically. I like it. Barr, if you're hearing this, you're on the show next week. Coho, suck a dick. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.